crazy. I know you don't want to hear about Miranda, but back in the day, she used to be the one to do the dishes. I saw it. I don't know, I was so backwards and old school and outdated mindset where like I didn't see it as like a manly thing to do dishes, and now it's like all I want to do, you know. In like our relationship, I just want to like pull my weight. And then I also think about like Junior had plates and cups and stuff, and I never washed them once really, and I regret that, seeing his little plate in my hand and stuff, all because I'm too macho, you know. Well, as someone who's made a lot of mistakes in her own life, I didn't need to go to therapy to figure out that regrets suck. So maybe you just shouldn't like regret too much. I know it's hard, but doing more dishes in the past is something that you can't change. It's just crazy that in your relationship you have these beliefs that you carry in with you from your childhood, you know, like, because I didn't have a dad, I would like emulate freaking men on TV, and you know, I would take from the toxic ones and try to be the man of the house. They carried it over into my marriage with Miranda. And there's just so many things I would have done differently, you know. Would have been maybe even a better father if I hadn't like thought I needed to be the worst version of Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. Well, you know, going hand in hand with regret is beating yourself up about those regrets. And if I do say so myself, I think you're wrong to do that, because you were a great dad to Junior. Every time I saw you interact with him, you really were good with him. You mean that? Or you're just saying it? Because I know when we dated and you watched Junior or you were around Junior, you were so bitter. Like, how'd you ever find the time to like pay attention to how I was parenting? No, I mean it. There's a reason why I was so attracted to you. It wasn't just because I'm some crazy obsessed chick with nothing else going on. I saw potential in you as a partner to raise children based off of how you were with Junior. Yeah, sure, you had some shortcomings, just like a lot of parents do that they don't admit. But I think you were very true to yourself. You were very real, very raw, and sure, it's hard to remember how you would yell at your son or whatever, but we're all human. I do think you were a great dad. Well, I appreciate that. Just feel like I had no patience. My son's gone, and there were so many moments where like I was angry at him for touching the blinds on the window, or making a mess, or not letting me do what I wanted to do. And now, like, if he was here right now, he could swing on the blinds all he wanted. He could color the walls with ketchup. I don't care. I know you say don't regret, but man, it's hard. I know. Again, you're only human, as long as you don't live in these regrets. And I'm sure your ex-wife, Miranda, I'm sure she has regrets too. I think we all do. I'm sure your mom does as well, but I'm sure Miranda has plenty. I wonder what she's feeling right now. The killer was caught. She's living without her son. She's got to take care of her daughter by herself. I wonder what's going on. I know, you know, she should be in my past and stuff. I'm just curious, you know, like what's going on. I was kind of expecting her to call. Just like my mom said, I thought she would call and be like, oh, killer's caught, how y'all feeling or something, but nothing. Who knows what she's thinking. I know she needed to get away, and hopefully getting away helped her. Hopefully she's finding herself. Hopefully she's rebuilding, putting the pieces back together. Or else moving away was all for nothing. Sometimes I wonder if there's a whole other show going on where her life is just as bad as it was here in Serafina Town. We're just not seeing it. Who knows who she's dating again, if she's dating again. Who knows how it is to raise a child by herself with just Nanny Agatha around. I don't know. It's very interesting to think about for me. Were we all that bad? Was I really that terrible that she, like, had to disappear like this? No offense, but I was a toxic woman, still kind of am. And when I was with you in your toxic form, you gave me a run for my money. I would say that you might have even been a little bit more toxic than me back in the day. So yeah, I don't blame her for leaving. You probably don't remember what the fans thought of you, and just, my goodness. You made me look kind of good. I guess I've changed so much that I barely remember. Maybe that's a good thing. Less regrets, right? I always have this burning question on my mind just because I think about having kids and stuff. And hypothetically, you had another child with me, maybe. What would you want it to be? Would you want it to be a boy again or a girl? You know I don't like the hypotheticals, Melissa. Can you just humor me? I know it can be a trigger to talk about potential children after what you went through, but I also believe that it can be kind of healthy. Because what I've learned in therapy is that if you don't have hope, it's really hard to go from moment to moment because you think the next moment is going to be so terrible. So if you open your mind a little bit to like potential or whatever, it can be easier just to humor it. Just humor me. I know it sounds corny and I don't mean to be depressing or nothing, but if I were to have a kid again, like if unicorns are real and pigs were flying, I'd want to have a daughter. Me and Miranda always wanted to have a daughter together. That's why I was so pissed off when her and Brian had a daughter. It's like he took that from me, you know? Of course, like, I'm tremendously happy with Junior, but I'd rather have a daughter in the future because I wouldn't ever want to replace my boy. You know, not that genders matter, but you know what I mean. I'd want a different experience. I want to have those memories with Junior to be sacred. Have a daughter where, I don't know, I know it's outdated and traditional, but you know, she plays with Barbies or something. That's different from Junior, you know? So again, if Charlotte had turned out to be your daughter, like in real life, like not a hypothetical, I mean, yeah, hypothetical. If she was your daughter, let's say Brian took that paternity test, you really stand by it that you would take care of her and step up and all that, and you'd want her stuff. Yeah. Hell, I mean, I wish the circumstances were better where, like, I had been the one by Miranda's side during her pregnancy and in the delivery room. But hell, if Charlotte had turned out to be my daughter, yeah, I would have stepped up because that's the type of man I want to be today. Okay. What? You got something to say? You got a secret? No. No secret. It's just nice to pick your brain with hypotheticals. Because that's all they are, Joey, is hypotheticals.